Hey guys, I want to go over our serve receive mainly today. I'm going to add in a little bit of the reasoning behind it. Basically, I want to establish a very efficient serve receive composed of mainly back row players where we can free up our main hitters on the front row and they don't have to be thinking about hitting. And that way we can hopefully have a very effective serve receive and then a very effective offense based on that serve receive. This coming Friday and Monday is going to be our opportunity to focus on the basics. We need to get our passing and the basic principles of the game down before we can build on that and start running trick plays and stacks and slides and stuff like that. And I want to use this weekend to develop that and to build that foundation. And with that being said, I don't want to even attempt to run any trick plays this weekend. We need to work on our passing, and besides that, we don't want necessarily our opponents knowing what trick plays we're thinking about running, because then they can start preparing for it. So let's get into the serve receive. You guys know that we're going to be doing a basic 3-person serve receive. At times, we're going to do a 2-person serve receive depending on the server. If the server has a fast, consistent serve, then we will add a third passer. But if it's a slower serve, then we don't need more than 2 really good passers. So we're going to sometimes just have 2 passers, sometimes 3. In this rotation, Adam and Gideon are our middles, Tanisha and Morgan are our right sides. Tanisha is setting a 5-1, and Amy and Devin are our left sides. So pay attention, picture yourself on the court, and really get an idea of where you're going and what you're doing, so that when we actually get on the court, we're not having to figure all this out. Let's really nail this down. So I want you guys to watch this whole thing. All right, Tanisha, you're going to push up Adam to begin with. And make sure you stay on that sideline because Hannah, you're going to go in for Devin, and Holly, you're going to go in for Gideon. Hannah's going to scoot over, and she needs to push you over so she can cover that line. And then Holly is going to scoot over and cover more of the middle. In this situation, our two main passers are Holly and Hannah. Morgan could pass and Amy could pass, but both of them are on the front row, and unless we need you guys, Morgan and Amy, we don't want to use you because we want to keep you free for hitting. So if it's a slow server, then we can get away with just Holly and Hannah sharing the court. Otherwise, and even if it even if it is a slow server, Morgan, you can back up just a little bit and cover that short serve. And so what we have here is Hannah, you are going to get to any ball you can. You're the libero, and I want you covering as much court as possible. So you're going to cover this. That wasn't supposed to happen. All right, you're going to cover this line serve. You're also covering this angle serve. You're going to call that seam before the serve and mentally prepare to move for that ball. And you're also going to cover any short serves up in front of your lane. Holly, you need to be aware of not only this angle serve, but also this deep angle serve. If a serve goes into that deep corner, you need to be prepared to shuffle over and get your hips behind that serve and pass it to target. Morgan, you need to watch the short ball. There's not very many people can serve this serve, but a few can, and it happens. So you need to be prepared for this topspin serve that curves around and lands in this shorter portion of the court. And that's really the only serve you're focused on. Otherwise, you're leaving these deeper serves and the shorter serves up to Hannah and Holly. So that's our first rotation. Remember, guys, the basics to passing are always going to be calling the ball before the ball comes over the net. All right, so we just need to communicate really well, and even before the serve, call who has the seam. So basically, the principle here is as soon as this server hits the ball and it's coming over, you need to call it. But the great thing about this is Adam is free to hit, and he's going to stay one and hit a 4 first. Amy just needs to pay attention to where the pass is coming from and get out here in the middle. Morgan's already transitioned. That way Tanisha can go to target. The ball can get passed to Tanisha. Amy needs to come in for that 1 and be really convincing, call it out, try to bring the blocker in, and then you have the 4 with our strongest hitter being Adam. And really that's going to be our strongest offense at this point is Amy, since you're in the middle already, trying to pull the blocker and then throwing the ball out to Adam. And then Tanisha, you also have the option of setting that 9 back to Morgan. But again, really our strongest hitter right now is Adam. Amy, you can try to pull the block, and that's going to be our strongest offense. So. All right, so next rotation. All right, in this rotation, Hannah is still in for Devin. And now Holly is in for Gideon. And we're going to do the same thing here. This way, all 3 of our front row players can stack, and Adam, Tanisha, and Amy can go to their bases right away. Morgan, you're going to kind of cover this line serve. Anything that kind of comes this way on that line, or maybe if the server's standing over on this side of the court, covering this line. And then you're also covering any of the short, like we talked about last rotation, the short serves that curve down in that corner. And this is the same thing. Hannah and Holly call that seam, call the ball before it comes over the net, make a good pass, get a good fundamental pass down. All right, that's basically the same as last rotation. The great thing about this is all our hitters can go directly to their bases, and then we can run an offense from there. We'll have Tanisha, we have you, we have Adam as your middle. He's going to be your strongest front row hitter, and then Amy as your left side. And also Morgan and Holly can both do a pipe attack from back row. All right, next rotation. Devin is now front row. We have a new left side. Amy's back row. Holly, you're still in for Gideon at this point. So, same principle here. Adam and Devin are going, well, Devin, you don't need a stack. So we have a stack in the front. Our front row hitters don't need to worry about passing, but just transitioning and getting a good offense in. At this point, we have 3 people in the back row passing. Hannah, you're not going to be involved in this one rotation. So this is going to be your basic pass 3. Call the ball before it comes over the net and play your lane. So each of you need to focus on that short ball in front of you as well as getting behind that deep ball. But the important thing here is to communicate. With that being said, our front row offense, Tanisha, will essentially be Adam, transition back, come in on top of Tanisha for the 1, make a lot of noise, try to pull the blocker, and then Devin, you're on the outside hitting that 4. All right, next rotation. Okay, Adam has just served, and now we're playing serve-receive. So in this rotation, Hannah, you're going to go in for Adam. And then we have another pass 3 formation. So we'll do something like this. Same principle here. Front row is going to stack and go to your bases, and then Gideon, make a lot of noise, get on top of the setter and hit the ball down. And Tanisha, you need to watch the block. If the block is down, set that 1. If it's up, set the 4. Basic principal stuff there. Yeah, so that's another pass 3. Call the ball. Next rotation, we have Hannah, you're still in for Adam. And Tanisha, you are pushing Devin up. And at this point, we're just going to pass 2. No. Yeah, let's just pass 2. Hannah and Amy, you guys split the court. And that's if it's a, moderately easy serve. If it's slow, you guys can easily call the ball and someone get there soon enough to pass it. And this is great because it leaves all our front row hitters open. Hitters at this point, you'll just stay for the first ball. Gideon, come in for the 1. Devin, you're going to stay and hit a 9. And then Morgan, you'll hit a left side. The reason I want you hitters to stay is if the serve ends up being too much for just 2 passers, then we'll just change to a pass 3, and Morgan will step back and help pass. And then again, at this point, Morgan, the whole idea here is to get that first pass out. All right, Tanisha has 2 other hitters still, so we got to focus on the pass. And then rotate. This will be our last rotation before we go back into rotation 1. Hannah, you are at this point going to go back. Devin's already served. We're on serve receive, so Hannah, you're going to go back in for Devin. And then Tanisha's pushing Morgan up. All right, so assuming that the server isn't exceptional, the serve should be coming over at a manageable rate. So Adam, you're going to back up onto the back line. Amy, you are going to back up to here. Hannah, you're going to go there. Amy and Hannah, you 2 will split the court at that point. Right? And we're going to pass 2. Now, the reason we're doing this is I want Morgan. Amy, you're going to be out of the hitting order. Morgan, you're going to go outside for the first ball. Gideon, you are going to transition to the middle for the first ball. Tanisha, you're going to go to target. Gideon, you need to come in for that 1 and be loud and convincing. Morgan, be ready for the 4. But our secret weapon here is Adam is going to be ready to come in on the pipe. So we have Gideon coming in for a 1, being really loud. If the blocker's up with him, Tanisha can just set the ball back to Adam. If the blocker's down, she can set to Gideon. So Tanisha, be aware of your blockers. All right, guys, I think that's it. That covers all 6 rotations. Pay attention to the passing, guys. Remember, that's our goal right now, is to get a really good pass on every single serve. If we can do that, we can have an excellent, excellent game. We'll see you guys tomorrow.